guys, welcome back to Bro Log number 6. So today I just wanted to kind of give a rundown of how my dieting has been going. So going extremely well. I have gotten down to about 92.6. I'm starting to feel all the effects that are pretty standard, especially when it comes to dieting down and getting leaner. I didn't think it was going to happen this soon. It was actually fine for a long period of time. I was gonna just do, obviously eat in the calorie deficit, keep doing my cardio, but now it's starting to really ramp up and I'm starting to feel a lot more fatigued than normal. The energy that I have is starting to disappear, so I can't get through things as I used to, and I'm definitely in the phase where I'm overreaching to kind of get that next level of body fat down, and it's becoming a lot harder. I will not lie and say it's going to be easy, and I just wanted to pretty much come on here and tell you guys how it's been going and how it's been really affecting my work-life balance. And obviously, the beginning was good, motivating, weight was dropping, and now it's starting to get a lot harder. I'm still getting training pumps are still pretty good. That's the only thing I'm kind of holding really, really well. I think it's because I have a goal in mind and obviously wanting to get down to about that 91 kilos. So I'm pretty much 1.5 kilos away from where I want to be. And I'm thinking that I'm gonna have to implement some higher carb days just to kind of manage the fatigue that's onsetting. So it's been pretty hard. It's definitely one of those things that is normal for dieting, but I guess it's because I haven't done it for so long. I never realized how much energy it took out whilst I still need my brain power to do a whole bunch of other things for the business. So to get through all of this, I feel like having high carb days will help me function a little bit better through the days I do have those. Like yesterday, I try to live as flexible as I can and have the balance in my lifestyle. I think that's super important, but Nicole's also started dieting, so it does make things a bit easier so we can kind of push through together. Obviously, she's at the beginning stage and she's only just started now because she's got a long prep until her show in October, whereas obviously mine is about 6 weeks away to the wedding. So I guess I have to realize that 1 week out from the wedding, I can't be brain dead, so that way I can actually function and be present and not be low energy. So hopefully I can push through and get through it. Wish me luck, guys, but I'm going to try to do my best. So what I'm kind of feeling, I want to go through what I'm feeling currently. Definitely feeling a lot more. Sleep is getting less, so obviously going to sleep hungry, waking up hungry. Between meals, I'm actually alright after a meal because my calories are fairly low, and so I've kind of kept everything pretty static for the past few weeks, so I'm lucky that my body's responding really well. I'm probably training harder, I would say, and doing cardio a bit harder instead of actually increasing my cardio, so I'm still at that 30-minute mark per session after each of my workouts on the cross trainer. I really go hard in my cross trainer. I really do level up to 25, max level. I just always kind of done it that way. I feel like at my size I should be able to kind of push that, and even then I do get my heart rate around about 130 to 140 and burning at least a minimum of 300 calories. I do also do on my off days, I do about 45 minutes of high incline walking, and that's pretty much it. I've kind of kept food the same for the past 2-3 weeks, haven't really adjusted, but my weight's still coming down, so that's really good. So motivation is definitely there, but to really get that balance, I do feel I need to add in some high carb days, at least probably twice a week, maybe midweek and end of the week, just so that way I can function and actually get through business stuff as well as obviously being more energetic, because right now I definitely feel a lot more tired. I just feel like I want to lay on the couch. It's really hard to function right now. But very standard process, I think. It's definitely a lot harder because what we do, or what I do, it's a lot of business stuff behind the scenes that people don't see. They do see obviously Instagram posts, all of that, but it requires energy to record videos and definitely be in front of the camera and do things like this. And it's one of those things that I definitely want to kind of bring my energy back. So high carb days will hopefully help. Maybe, a free meal as well per week. I'm training pretty quickly, so I think I can definitely include those. 1.5 kilos in 6 weeks should be possible, but I'll definitely slow it down a little bit more so I can focus on more getting that balance, and then I'll possibly just keep the low days and high days as I go along, even past this wedding prep series. So it's something I want to kind of stay lean for longer. I definitely feel like there's a lot more skin around my body because obviously the weight I've gained and stuff like that. So I do feel like lower abs and stuff still need to come in and tighten up, and hopefully this all improves the condition over the long run. And that does bring me to the question, will I compete again? It depends on how I look and how the business is running. If I can take a step back and just focus on my clients and myself, then it should be fine. But right now, because we're doing a lot of things that are, I guess we would call it like the accumulation phase, where we're growing sideways, trying to build all the systems and processes for my coaches and the team. And I think there's a lot going on, and making decisions are important. So that's why having my energy back would be really, really good. This vlog is, I guess, like Brolog, is just kind of give you an open and honest review of how I've been going, and to tell you guys it's pretty normal. I definitely am walking the walk with you, and as messed up as Instagram may seem sometimes, people do like to follow people who are putting themselves through it. It's a certain sense of partnership that we have with our clients and ourselves, and so that's why I did begin this journey to kind of show you guys through it, use all the skills I have to kind of really help myself level up and focus on me again. But yeah, I guess like with my sleep and stuff like that, it's obviously it's slightly less now, so I'm waking up a bit earlier than normal as compared to the sleep quality is still generally all right. It might be affecting my fatigue in general if I'm not sleeping well, but your body just wakes up fight or flight. It's probably going to go through starvation mode and you're overreaching. So it's a very standard process that's going to happen. But yeah, just got to manage it a little bit better, I think. As regards to like my satiety, probably would rate that like it's manageable, because going from 1 or 2 meals a day, I definitely feel like eating now is a lot easier. So hunger is not something I'm scared of. I think a lot of people do fear hunger as one of those things that they struggle with, and it's like scary, but then you kind of have to embrace it. Like, know that you won't die eating 1 meal a day. Like, you probably wouldn't. I mean, you being malnourished is probably not healthy. It's obviously not healthy, but you're not gonna die from it. That's one thing. So that's kind of what I'm embracing right now. As regards to like my bowel movement, it's been pretty good. I do go to toilet at least once a day, and I do chuck in greens occasionally just to kind of help and get those vitamins and minerals in, which are super important. And I've started using pre-workout and caffeine again, just because I just need that energy again. Like the pumps have been really good. It's probably due to the pump powder as well. So I do use like a half a scoop of a pre-workout, which isn't too high stim, and I do chuck in some extra pump powder on top of that to make it a bit more better, so I can get through my workouts. It definitely has made a massive difference, because I remember when I started this, I took that all out and I re-added back in, and then my pumps have been crazy. That's probably why my training has been pretty good. But after that, I realized I taxed myself out. I even got I got a watch again, so I can start tracking my steps, my cardio, how much I'm actually burning. And in this session, I probably burn like 1,000 calories somehow. Like in my weight training, like for an hour plus the half an hour of cardio, I am burning around that 800 to 1,000 calorie mark. Obviously, it's going to be a bit inaccurate. It's just a good gauge to kind of see how much calories I may be burning, and it will probably be off. But like considering how much I'm eating plus the calories I'm burning, it would make sense why I feel a lot more tired. Obviously, my recovery hasn't been as good. I definitely feel a lot more sore between workouts, and obviously, like my chest will be sore, my shoulders will be sore. But I have changed my training around to kind of adjust, and now I'm focusing a bit more. Like before, it was a bro split, but now I definitely need to change it up and hit more different muscle groups in one session, so that way I don't fatigue it all in that one session, and then that way I can kind of build a balanced physique as well, because structural balance is a super important thing that you want to have. I've been rolling a lot more, so that's been helping, and I still see my chiro at least once every fortnight. I probably need to start getting some remedial massage just to kind of loosen up the muscles, but I have been stretching a little bit more, so I am starting to do a lot more things on my health, which is a lot better. Before it was just weight training, bro split, the whole lot. and manage some injuries I have as well. You know, I get it for like tendinitis in my elbow and stuff like that. That usually comes from, you know, training arms. So I try to not train arms anymore, and just focus on, you know, doing it after, you know, a session, and, you know, don't really need arms. But I started training abs as well, and that's making a massive difference. I definitely treat abs like a proper muscle. I think it's very important to have good core stability and everything like that. It will help in your other exercises as well. But yeah, so I decided to kind of like, you know, want you guys kind of hear the behind the scenes of what's been happening. Yeah, I definitely need to implement something to kind of manage it. And these are the sort of things you become more self-aware as you keep doing this, and people will start to understand how much there is to it. And, you know, I hope that, you know, my clients that listen to this, it's so important that you become more self-aware so I can help you better. You know, it's not about being weak. You know, sometimes there's a lot of people out there that are like, I need to push harder. I need to, you know, just do everything perfectly. And I'm like, sometimes it's just about progression. It doesn't need to be perfect. Unless you are jumping on stage and, you know, no other choice but you have to go 100%. But if you aren't, then I say, why not? Why don't you have that balance? Because it's super important to have that. But yeah, so hopefully this kind of motivates some people to kind of be like, you know what, you can do this. It's definitely possible. I do have doubt. I guess I don't really have too much doubt, I would say, because I have the knowledge and education behind me, so I know what's happening, and I just make adjustments as needed. It's one of those things that you have to learn. I definitely am more hydrating a lot more as well, drinking a lot more water. Definitely need a lot more sodium between my meals and stuff like that, but I definitely am drinking way more water than what I was before. Probably like just a lot easier as you get leaner, probably get hungrier, so you probably just want to drink water. I do feel like it's super important to hydrate as much as you can. We can go into further detail that in a later vlog, but you know, always hydrate, salt your meals, you know, pepper your meals, the whole lot. But I've been eating the same thing, so I still have been living a bit untracked, and the progress has been pretty good. So you can see how like you can live pretty balanced, but you have to be repetitive in what you do, and stick to it and trust that process. Because sometimes, you know, when I started the 4 weeks of dieting, I didn't lose weight. Like, you know, a lot of people would have been disheartened by it. You know, they were like, oh no, screw it, like it's not working. And people want to see fast results, but you've got to kind of look at it in more the light that who do you want to be? Like, you know, I had a great talk with Sarah on our podcast, and she was talking about how you have to, like, what's your identity? Who do you want to be 1 year from now? And I've told people on Instagram and stuff like that that I want to live this lifestyle forever, and I never want to go back to eating 1 or 2 meals a day. So I'm always going to prioritize myself first. And, you know, I talk to new clients and they'll be like, it's just for your sanity sometimes, just to get into training and stuff like that. So I think it's one of those things that people do forget. It's not just the 12-week challenge. We just finished up with our 12-week challenges, and I'm asking them already before they even start with us, like, what is their goal 1 year from now? Do they want to go back to what they were doing right now, or do they want to give up and just go back to what they were doing? You know, because that determines a lot. Like, you know, it's so important that you find your why of why you want to do this and who you want to be, and it becomes a lot easier. Then the progress won't really matter, because let's say you spend a whole year. You spend a whole year not starting, or a whole year of you starting and maybe only being 60 or 70% compliant, like to your meals, to your training, to your cardio, your steps, your sleep, your, you know, managing stress. If you did it 60% for a whole year, you would get phenomenal results. Like, you'll probably be like, you know what, it was better than doing 0%. And that's something you've got to ask yourself, like, how badly do you want to change your lifestyle now, so that way you can live the lifestyle you want to live? And that's super important. So when you start coaching, when you start getting a coach, just always focus on asking questions. Asking those questions is so important. Like, as a coach, obviously we have experience, we'll ask you the right questions, but it's for you to actually understand and make those decisions yourself. And sometimes you just got to push. Like right now, I feel like I want to push a little bit more to get leaner and overreach. Then I will start like reverse dieting. But until then, I feel like I still have a little bit more in me to really get to that next level. And then I'll be really happy with how I'm looking. I'm pretty much kind of happy with how I'm looking. Definitely feel like I could be a bit more leaner, but I know if I just keep going the way I am, I'm going to get there. There's no denying that. And so you've got to just have that vision, you know. You've got to change your environment around you or change your lifestyle to match what you want to be. So obviously, if you're someone that parties heaps, maybe you need to party less. Like, will you look back 10 years and be like, you know what, I should have just kept partying, or I should have lived the lifestyle I want to live and have something to show for it? I think it's one of those questions you have to ask yourself, because I feel like I've obviously changed my environment, and I have great people around me who are all into fitness and stuff like that, so it just makes it a lot easier that we're all going through separate phases. My coaches are always competing, so it's always motivating watching them and putting them through it. So yeah, I think it's definitely one of those things. I just wanted to kind of show you guys behind the scenes and let you know how I've been feeling. And yeah, hopefully I can motivate someone, that one person watching this, that you can do this, and you've got to have that long-term vision of what you want to achieve and just keep going at it. 60% of the year is better than 0%. I'll always guarantee that. Even 50%, it doesn't need to be perfect. Know that what you're trying to create when you sign up with a coach is build those habits and behaviors for long-term sustainability and lifestyle, and then that this is the lifestyle you want to live. And so like if you eat clean all day and eat bad at night, that's fine. That's a start, because if you went from eating bad all day to like eating clean 80-70% of the time, it's going to show some good results. Obviously, if you want faster results, you got to be perfect. You got to execute perfectly. You got to put the effort in. You got to visualize your goals, and these are the 3 E's that will help you kind of really take you to that next level. But yeah, that was a long one, but I hope you guys found some value from that. And once again, if you have any questions, make sure to DM me. If not, make sure to subscribe to the channel. We'd love for you to keep up with our content, because we got a whole bunch of extra stuff and useful, valuable stuff that will hopefully help you level up and help you reach your full potential, because life's too short not to. Just remember that, one thing I like to do is look at I think there's this term, like, your mortality of like, how long you're going to live. Like, let's say I'm 30 this year, I might pass away when I'm like 80 or 90, hopefully, or 100, possibly. Then I've only got 70 years. I've already done a third of that already, and so it's something to think for yourself, that it's never too late to start. Take that first step now, and I guarantee you will not regret it.